Jeremy Ellis here. I'm setting up a particle photon to use iota to purchase sensor readings. Here's a really badly made particle photon. It has, what do we have there? We have a photoresistor and a 1K resistor and a photoresistor on this side. There's the particle photon. Breathing cyan means it's got Wi-Fi, it's hooked up and working. Now the connections there are pretty simple to AO. I have a photoresistor to 3v3, and then the resistor from ground to AO. The hookup's in my Hackster thing. So here's the GitHub. README kind of explains what's going on. You can have a look at that. The app is the main thing. This is the INO that is flashed to the photon. Quite simple. It has a setup with a function. It has a loop that's doing nothing. And then when we call the function from a distance, it either reads D7 if the sent argument is toggle LED, if the sent argument is photoresistor, it reads AO. Else it returns a -2. The large program's the app, and we've got a package.json, makes it auto work. It's just loading a bunch of things: iota converter, iota core are the main ones, and request. So let's get back here. The main app. Super important stuff is you're careful with your seed. This is not the seed I'm using. And these are the equivalent for the photon, particle ID and an access token. So I'm going to update this information with my seed. Now something you might not be familiar with is, here, let's have a quick look at the code. I'm okay with Node, but I've just kind of thrown this together. Load the address from the seed is the main function. Generate a new address. That one I'm not actually using. Send confirmation. This actually is checking for a confirmed address. This sends to the particle, and the callback does the actual send return information. The main program send a message, and let's see what else we got here. This is the main function here. This is generating a web page, and this is identifying if a button was clicked, and I'll show you some of this information eventually. Now, you guys might not be used to Git pod, pretty fancy stuff, so I'm going to load up a Git pod right now and open that in a new tab. It's just loading the GitHub on an online Docker. While we're doing that, I've got a sender with 1.8 kilo iota and our main particle, which has received a test 0 tokens once again, just to kind of see if things are going. I'm going to pause this video while I set up those key things. Here we go. I'm going to set up a seed and my particle ID and my access token, and hopefully this Git pod, there it goes, that's activated. So let's go npm install and just see if that's working. It should add some node, there we go, node modules. So I'm going to pause this. So Okay, so I just copied over a seed, and I'm just using a temporary. I just set these up, and let's see how we do. So I've got the app loaded, and I'm just doing npm start, and let's see where we're at. So, ooh, that's interesting. I was expecting something slightly different. Give me a sec. Alright, let's try this. Start. And since I have already got a 0 value there, we should get 2 addresses. So this is my unused address. Let's open up the browser. And there is my unused address. And here, 0 tokens. You got to pay to read a sensor. It was from this address and should be returned to, not returned to any. So what I've done, I've copied that receive address, and I'm going to go into this one that has some money, and I'm going to send to that receive address. But I got to grab a receive address, and this is really manual, and I wanted it manual so I could kind of see what was going on. So I'm going to send the receiver address in the message, and I'm going to send 4 tokens. Now, debugging's a bit of a pain because this is an undetermined length of time. It could be a minute, it could be a little bit longer, things can get stuck. Iota will scale really well, and I just might pause the video and see how this goes. At the moment, what's going on? Oh, it hasn't even broadcast yet. So there it's broadcasting. There it's sending. But, and let's just check. You see it sent that. Ooh, typically I write these down. So it's HNI is the return address, and the sending address was, or the receiving address is TSN. So the next receiving address is going to be the HNI. So let's hang on to those. I'm going to pause this, come back in a bit. So that's changed from sending to sent. So what I'm going to do is go back to this web page. Now, this, who knows how quickly it'll work. Let's turn this around. You see the red dot. So let's submit this. This page is not terribly interesting. Let's go here, see what happened there. Light went on, and it's sending a reply back to the other thing. Now, this has nothing to do with the photo resistor there. It's just the D7 LED, the extra light on the particle photon. So, let's get back to the web page. Reload the page. There we go. Our 4 tokens. It toggles the D7 LED, and there's the TSN, which was the original receive address, and there's the HNI, which is the one here, HNI. Awesome. So that one's working. We haven't got a reply yet, and that I may have to pause things. But actually, while I'm waiting for that, I think we'll do the next one. Oh, there we go. We got a reply. Let's see what it says. From Roxetta, you toggled the D7 LED on, and you saw it go on. So now let's try something a little bit more fancy. I'm assuming this is a new one. It looks like it's a new one. So let's copy this. Copy. And once again, now remember, this is very manual, and that's what I wanted. I need to generate a new receive so that once it's sent it, it knows where to send it back to, so where to send the photoresistor raw reading. And all I've got to do is send something over 10, and let's not send milli-iota, let's send iota. It's 25,000 iota at the moment to be 1 cent, so nothing shows up there. So let's try sending that. Make sure you hit send. And I'm just going to pause because I need not only it to say sending, I need it to say sent here before checking anything. So I'll pause. See you in a minute. So that didn't take very long. My 14 iota has been sent. So let's get back to the web page. This time I'm not showing you the Photon, but I have loaded up a console that should be monitoring little plug-in here for particle. It's a web IDE. There's the function we had. Devices. Let's go to the particle. I'm hoping something will show up here. Let's submit this, and I'm going to go back here. There we go, my receive address to check. Sending 0 tokens, mentioned the photoresistor reads 221. That's the raw value on the photoresistor. It's sending it, and it looks like it's been sent. There's nothing really to see with the particle. Let's see if in the console, waiting for events. Oh, I don't think I'm publishing event there. Okay, well, that's fine. So let's see if that data has come through. There we go. It's received 0 iota, but there's the message from Roxetta, the photoresist reads 221. That's what I wanted to do. Human to machine interaction. If I have enough time and 5 days before this thing's over, I'll try to do a machine-to-machine interaction where you've got both of these, particle main and particle sender, working together. So let's just refresh this page, see what we've got. Maybe I'll blow this up a little bit. So the web page is showing that if you sent 0 tokens, you get nothing. If you sent 4 tokens, you toggle the D7 LED, but you got to actually read your returned message to find out if it went on or off. Sending 14 tokens, it says that its photoresistor reading was sent to or from. That's the receive address that was up here, and this is where it's returned to, LSC. Let's just go in here and see if it was LSC. This one, LSC, and this is the one that got returned. It's working. The only one I haven't tested is turning off the D7. I'll do the same sort of stuff and see if that works. So I just sent 1 iota, but check it out. It says sending. Okay, it's pending. I can't do anything with this yet, so I gotta wait just a little bit longer. So it just said that it's been sent. So let's bring my little Photon up again. And see the D7's still on. We're gonna submit. And I can zip over here. There, it just went off, and it's sending from Roxetta. Toggle the D7 LED off. Awesome. And it prints out a new receive address. So that looks like that's the new receive. Nope, that's not. So I've got to reload this page. There we go. We got the new receive address. It's really manual at the moment, but it is transferring funds and controlling a microprocessor. Might take a little bit of time for this one to get sent, but it should say them the same message. There we go. From Roxetta, you toggle the D7 LED off. Yeah, it works.